What's poppin', people? It's Dante, getting my morning started here in the Centennial Arboretum. Check out all of the beautiful trees. And so today I'm thinking about why you should keep making photographs, to keep producing more. You know, for me personally, anytime I spend inside, I feel like my soul, it just slowly dies. But when I'm outside and I'm moving my body, photographing my way through life, I exist outside the passage of time. I'm not dwelling on the photos I made yesterday, last year, 10 years ago. I'm not thinking about the photographs I can make next week or in 2 months or a year from now. I'm focused on the present moment and producing photographs throughout my day. And I think this is the goal, to remain in that spirit of play through making pictures through our gut, through our intuition, our thumos, that inner fire within us that has us driven with courage to make pictures. You know, your body is the vehicle and you're driven by courage to go out there and produce. And this to me is the mindset and philosophy I adopt as a photographer. For any time I spend inside dwelling on photographs, culling through photographs, sequencing photographs, making an idea for a book or a zine or a gallery show or something extravagant that we want to present with our pictures, it doesn't feel right. And I understand that an artist is supposed to be able to put together their, things and make sense of it all. But the real juice is in the production of the work. The real power I find is through making more pictures and to sort of push myself each day through production. And so my call to action for you is to stop dwelling on the outcome of what you're doing. Stop thinking too much. Stop thinking up in your head about why you're making pictures because you want to tell a story of this or that, or what you're doing with the pictures because you need somebody to see them. Just go out there and make pictures. Like, this is such a simple thought, but you got to turn off the thoughts. And when you turn off your little monkey brain and you tap into your inner child in your gut, that's where all of the magic happens. That's where you go out there and you say yes to life and produce more photographs. And is this not the ultimate aim? Is this not the ultimate goal of a photographer, to be outside in the world exploring and making sense of all the chaos and complexities of life? You know, this is where I thrive. I don't thrive inside dwelling on what the photographs mean. I'm out here, I'm exploring and I'm photographing. And I think this is the most beautiful thing about photography, is it's up to the individual to give it meaning. And I find meaning in the process. I find joy in discovery. I find meaning in experimenting and tinkering and being out in the world and moving my body through the world and making pictures of things. I don't necessarily thrive when I'm inside dwelling on what the photographs mean or how they can be impactful or put together in a presentation. And so I think you should stop thinking. I think that you shouldn't think. Like, we think so much about what the photographs are for or what the goal is, but what if there was no goal? What if your goal was to just stop thinking and just start making? This is where the magic is. It's in the production, it's in the movement of your body, it's in the click of the shutter. That's what brings me that feeling of dopamine, of joy, of bliss. It's through being out in the sunlight and having it kiss my skin and then photographing. It just always makes me grin upon my chin. And so yeah, I think maybe stop thinking, start shooting. That's the simplest message of the day that I can think of today, is to stop thinking. Even when you're like practically on the street and you're looking at a scene and something's unfolding, stop thinking, just shoot. When we're up in our head and we're contemplating a composition or a moment or deciding whether or not we should press the shutter, that's where stagnation lies. But when you're following your courage and moving your body and pressing the shutter through your gut, that primal instinct, your intuition, this is where motivation lies. Motivation lies in the movement of your body, in the click of the shutter. It's not something that is an external force that's going to push you, like that result of the image being good or bad, like that book that you make or the gallery show that you present your photos in. It's simply in the stream of becoming, of evolution and change through the photographic process of making new pictures. And so I encourage you to go out there, to explore, to move, to photograph throughout your day, to photograph throughout your lifetime, because photography is an endless journey. It requires a lifetime of exploration and discovery to make anything worthwhile. And so recognize the timeline as this infinite expanse and the world as this endless canvas for us to draw upon, and how encouraging that is for you to go out there and to sort of prolifically photograph your way through life and not being caught up in what the photographs mean or what you're trying to say. Stop trying to say anything, just be. This is how I think about photography. I think about it in a way that is not necessarily even about thinking. It's just doing, it's just being, it's becoming, it's evolving and changing. And you know, I think whoa, check this out. Yeah, I think that we should just play more and stop thinking more and stop dwelling, just doing. Kind of have to shut it all off and just kind of like move on autopilot with laser pinpoint accuracy and precision by tapping into your gut and your intuition. And so stop thinking, start shooting. That's my thought.